Hello everyone, it's Sheila and welcome to another episode of PJs and Coffee Time. Today's video is going to be short and sweet. At least I hope so. I don't want to take too much of your time out today because I know that today is a very, very special day. I have a lot of mothers out there that watch my channel. So I want to say to you all, happy Mother's Day. I hope that you enjoy your day to the fullest. And in lieu of not keeping you, I'm just gonna go ahead and get started, but I do wanna warn you, if you hear some strange noises, I apologize in advance because yet again, I'm doing laundry. And the room that I record in is literally right next to my laundry room, and I didn't even think about it until I hit the record button and realized that my machine is making dunka-dunka noises. So I truly, truly apologize. But yeah, so I don't wanna keep you all too long, like I said, but I do want to share with you all, I'm drinking my coffee today out of a very, very special mug that was gifted to me by someone so special and dear to my heart. I have a mug that is from Arkansas. It was gifted to me personally, so I feel so special. But it's a really cute mug, actually. It's got the state bird on it. It's got greenery, like the fall leaves on the trees. It's got, I think this might be a waterfall that I'm looking at right here. I'm not real sure. And then over here is the state flower. And along the entire bottom of the mug, it just says the word Arkansas. And then on the handle, it says Arkansas. It's a pretty heavy mug too. I actually really, really like it. And it's one of those ones that have the big opening at the top, so I can totally have soup in this mug. So yeah, this mug will serve more than one purpose. So thank you to my dear friend for buying me this mug. You know, I will love it and cherish it forever. What do I want to share for a tip of the day? And then I thought, you know what, let's keep it simple. Let's keep it really simple today. Today can be a very, very bittersweet day for some. You can be happy on one end and totally sad on the other. Some mothers today are so happy because their children are celebrating Mother's Day with them and they're so thankful to have their children by their side, their grandchildren, whatever. But yet on the other side, they're not doing so well because they may be without their mother. I happen to be one of those people. Every Mother's Day since I lost my mom, my son has always made it a special day for me, and I am so appreciative of it. However, there's that little part of me every Mother's Day that I get really sad, and I'm like, I'll do anything to be able to say Happy Mother's Day to my mom and have her like right across from me as I say it. But it's not possible, but she knows in heaven how I feel about her. So today I want to ask everyone to take the time out, whether it's a stranger, whether it's a best friend, whether it's someone that you haven't talked to in a long time, your neighbor, anyone that you come across today, take the time, smile at them and say Happy Mother's Day. Let them know that they are special. The opportunity today to make someone's day a very, very special day. So today I want to share with you all a little bit of a story time about the last Mother's Day that I spent with my mom. I didn't know it was going to be my last Mother's Day with her, but this is one of the things to get me through every Mother's Day because I know that the last Mother's Day that I spent with her was a very, very special Mother's Day. This was not her last Mother's Day on earth, but it was the last Mother's Day that I spent with her before she passed. I hope that makes sense. But for some reason this particular year, it was on my heart very heavy that I wanted to spend Mother's Day with my mom. And like I said, it's so ironic that I didn't know that the very next year, things would just go in such a different direction. And I guess that's why God put it on my heart that I needed to spend that Mother's Day with my mom. Because ironically, the very next Mother's Day that was gonna come up, I would not have been able to go out because I had spent so much time out dealing with my father's hospital stay and his amputation and all that. So this particular Mother's Day ended up being very, very special, even more special than I could have ever imagined. So once I decided that I'm going home, I'm going to spend Mother's Day with my mom, I called my brother and I was like, hey brother, I need you to help me put together a plan. We got to surprise mom. I'm coming home for Mother's Day. And he's like, girl, you can't surprise mom for Mother's Day. She's nosy. She's going to figure it out. My brother, I said, we're going to do this. We're going to pull this off. So he was like, all right, we'll see. I also contacted my sister and said, hey, I'm going to be surprising mom for Mother's Day. I need you guys to come home as well so that we can all be home with mom for Mother's Day. And, you know, my sister was like, girl, you can't surprise, like everyone says the same thing. Like you can't surprise mama because mama was nosy. Like she always, like if you're on the phone and you're talking quiet, her ears got like extra sharp, you know, like she just always had to be in the midst of everything that was going on. And that was going to be the hard part, was how was he going to get away from my parents? Because both of them, like I said, this year their health had started to, more so my father's health than my mom. My mom's health has always been with the rheumatoid arthritis. And so, you know, she has good days and bad days, and that's pretty much been the norm. But my dad's health was really starting to deteriorate. That's when, you know, his legs started bothering him. And at that time we didn't know, but shortly thereafter is when he had his amputation. So my brother didn't leave them for long periods of time. He would go to school and teach and then come home. And there was a nurse's aide that came to the house during the day to take care of my mom. And she also looked in on my dad, believe it or not. She was such a sweetheart. She was a personal friend of the family as well as a caregiver. But so my brother was like, it's gonna be tricky to get away from mom and dad without them wanting to go. And so he came up with this idea that he was gonna go visit a female friend. It was so funny because my mom is like one of those people that every time, she was always in my brother's business because my brother's never been married. And so she was always, if he was gonna go see a female, she wanted to know all the details because in her mind, maybe this is gonna give me a daughter-in-law. So she started in on him and he was just like, you know, because I think he told her like a couple days before that this is what's gonna happen so that they could plan this out and not be a total surprise to my mom and my dad that he was gonna be gone, because it's like a 2-hour drive to the airport to pick me up and like a 2-hour drive back. So theoretically he would probably be gone like 5 hours with the whole, you know, the round trip and everything. So my mom, for the next 2 days, my brother was like, all she's talking about is this woman that I'm going to see. And it was so funny because my brother was getting irritated because my mom is planning a wedding for some woman that my brother's going to see. And he's like, he can't say to her, Mom, I'm just going to pick Sheila up because that would ruin the surprise. So anyway, he comes and picks me up. I walked up to the front door and in the country where we live, nobody locks doors or anything. So I just slung the front door open and I go, Happy Mother's Day, Mom. And this was actually the day before Mother's Day. This was the Saturday before Mother's Day. And my mom was sitting there in her wheelchair, which is so funny because this is my parents. When they are waiting for my brother to, whether it's come home from school, because he taught every day and would come home because he lived with my parents, they would literally sit in the same spot. My mom's wheelchair would be facing the front door. She's sitting there and my dad would be sitting in this one little chair that sit right by the front door. And they would sit there every time, like from like probably about anywhere between an hour, 30 minutes to an hour before my brother would get home, and they would sit there waiting. And this was the case if they knew we were coming to visit or anything. If they knew that someone, you know, like a family member was coming to see them or something like that, that is where they would be until that person walked through the door. So they were sitting there waiting for my brother to walk in the door. And when I slung the door open and I was like, Happy Mother's Day, Mom, like my mom's eyes just lit up and tears started flowing. My dad started crying because he saw my mom crying. Then I started crying. Then my brother started crying. And my mom tells my brother, I knew something was up. You talking about you going to see some woman and ain't nobody ever met this woman. It was hilarious. She is going, I mean, she's ripping my brother a new one. And, you know, I can't believe y'all played this trick on me. And, you know, it was hilarious. And so, you know, we just spent the next probably hour or two just loving on each other and hugging on each other and, you know, just sharing about Mother's Day. And then the next day, my sister and her husband drove down. And so we all spent Mother's Day with my mom. We cooked out in the front, well, in the country we cook in the front yard. So we cooked on the grill in the front yard. My auntie came over, a couple of my other relatives came over, the neighbor down the street came over, and we had so much fun. We were singing crazy songs. I actually recorded that day. And I wasn't a YouTuber. I just recorded that day to have the memory of it. It's such a weird thing that I didn't know that was gonna be my last real Mother's Day with my mom. Like, I had no idea. But all these things that I did was so special because I did them not knowing, and then it turned out that was the last time I got to spend a Mother's Day with my mom. But the sad part about it is I had transferred the video from my phone to my laptop that I had at the time. And it was a very old laptop. And I don't know what happened, but I went to play it. I used to play it over and over and over again. And then one day I went to play it and it wouldn't play. And it was no longer a video. It was like a still shot of just my mom sitting in her wheelchair in the front yard. So I don't actually have the footage anymore, which saddens me because it was such a sweet day, and all she kept talking about is how her baby girl came home to surprise her and that she had all 3 of her kids together. And that's one of the things about my mom. She always longed to have the 3 of us under the same roof at the same time. That was always her dream. Because of the difference in our ages, you know, I'm so much younger. My brother and my sister not so much, but I'm so much younger. And then I moved away from home at 18 and, you know, always very, very far away from home. It was always hard for us all to be together at the same time. And so for my mom, that was just her thing, is that she always wanted us to be under the same roof at the same time. And so that day was just a beautiful day that we spent together as a family, and I will never ever forget that day. So on that note, just always remember to be kind to someone on today, because it's such a special day. You know, I know the day that I found out that I was gonna have my son, I was the happiest person in the world. I'll have to do a story time about that someday, but it's such a special thing to be a mother. And it's, you know, and even more special, it's a special thing to be a daughter, to have a mom that you can look up to and that you can. So today is a very special day for all the mothers out there. Mothers are so important. Mothers are the glue that holds everything together. Even when we sometimes feel like our moms don't know what they're talking about, and y'all know what I mean when I say that, especially the young ones, y'all. Sometimes you be just thinking your mom have no idea. She's clueless. What does she know? But we know more than you think. So just take a little bit of time today to just be thankful for your mother. And make sure she knows how you feel about her. Make sure she knows that you love her. And if you are one of those mothers and you don't have your mother with you today, take a moment to look towards heaven and wish your mom a happy Mother's Day. She hears you, she knows your heart. Thank you all for watching today. I'd like to close by saying Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. You are so loved.